Jolan, true Centurions, and welcome back to another episode of Starfleet Command. Orion Pirates. I am Fleet Admiral Tirak of the battleship RAS Fides as we continue our campaign against the United Federation of Planets, and we have finally done it. We have captured the Lichpin at 9-5, and from here on out we can now exploit the position. It only took, two episodes to bash our heads against this wall that was this planet, and a decent amount of damage to ourselves, but we finally have it, and we can finally use its vast facilities to resupply and rearm. So let's do that real quick, and patch 216 plus 9 damage. We're at 8,767, currently saving up another 12,800 and something prestige in order to purchase another King Condor battleship. That will be the plan, to fill out an entire battle fleet of these vessels. And with the pace that this campaign has been moving, I anticipate that as a very doable goal. This is going to be the longest campaign, except maybe for the Federation one. And I say that based on watch time, because back during Season 1, our Federation campaign, we didn't really have any sort of, strict guidelines and limits as to how long we would do an episode. We didn't try and keep it around 20 minutes. So there are some episodes out there that are 40-something minutes long. So in terms of watch time, the Federation campaign is probably going to end up longer. But in terms of episodes, this is probably going to hit the top tier. We've only taken out about a third of the Federation. Part of that stems from our armament. We only really deal damage once every 3 turns. So that can be a bit of a setback. Although with that said, we are currently in close engagement already with a BBX, another one. The Federation has a million of these things, it would seem. Although, to be fair, we haven't really taken out any major economic planets from the Federation, so they are still producing their ships and world vessels at their full pace. Like, there is no slowdown going on here at all, which is pretty impressive. Oh, please tell me that kills it. Please. It did. Awesome. So we can devote our entire firepower on the BBX. Wonderful. We are trundling along at a rather slow speed. Let's make sure that we're also taking advantage of the proper electronic warfare. They're already prepared for our electronic warfare assault. They've gone 2-4, and we go 2-4 as well. So let's increase our speed a little bit more. We do need to actually catch up. And it does appear like the battleship is focusing on the Doom machine. Although how could you not with a name like that? Obviously it's carrying some sort of mauler weapon. A super mauler of some sort, designed to annihilate planets. As long as he continues to waste time around like this, we're going to have an opportunity to mess with him. Ooh, excellent. The fighters have already taken out one of the freighters, and we've baited out his wild weasel, although we probably could have actually fired that at him and gotten good hits in. This is gonna suck, simply because this is how this is gonna have to work. Wait for it. Wait for the attack ship to go away. Plasma torpedoes are, of course, selected. Come on. Did the shuttle not get shot down? Gosh darn it. It took a lot of firepower to shoot down that shuttle. This is gonna hurt us a lot. A point where I'm really... No, we can't. We cannot. Okay, I guess we are. I was like, we can't do this. We cannot afford this kind of damage. We cannot afford that kind of shot. But you know what? If we're just going to get chunked down a shield, then yeah, we have to fire that. Let's get our fighters out under the cover of, well, him blasting us. Go, attack, and all stern-firing phasers engage. Hit him with everything you've got. Excellent. We fired all of our plasma torpedoes, so our torpedoes will now go to normal mode. And I'm really thinking we need to drop down to a speed of 4. He's pumped out more of his rear-firing photon torpedoes. Get out of the way, little guys. Don't get hit by this mine. I just realized I don't think I've been overloading my phasers. Have I? Don't think I have. Also, let's keep up with repairs. That's going to be important, especially with how badly we've been hit. More phaser fire getting out here. Was that? No, it wasn't. I thought for a second that was a scatter pack, but not nearly enough missiles for a scatter pack. Or at least not with the way that he launches them. Our pseudo frigate's finally getting into the fight. We need to pick up some speed. We need to get out of here. Build some distance. We are not good with the enemy right on top of us. Although with 57 points of power, we do not have much options here. We need to turn back. Oh, hi. Remember, the pseudo frigates are not going to help us. They're going to rush off after the convoy. Any other weapons you've got, shoot them now, because we need to kill these guys now. Our D-type plasma torpedoes are doing their very best. This might do it. These missiles could very well do it. And they did. Excellent. Okay, let's go after this convoy. We have a lot of repair work to do. A lot of systems are offline that we really can't afford to be offline. And we need to catch up with this vessel way off here in the distance. So I'm actually going to see if I can't convince my pseudo-frigates to go after him instead. We don't really have a whole heck of a lot of control over them in this mission. Unfortunately, pseudo-frigates and fighters both basically run around like chickens with their heads cut off. It can be somewhat frustrating, as you might imagine. We do have to increase speed quite considerably here. How much power do I've got? That much power. So I need a lot more. Keep fixing the warp engines. I need more energy. Need to go places as quickly as possible. There we go. One more point of power, which allows us to get up to a grand speed of like 13. There's another 2 points of energy. And as weapon systems come back online and get fully charged, we should be able to pick up the pace a little bit more, although we really do need to get a move on. If we can't get there fast enough, then there's no hope. Keep stabilizing the warp core. Get in there. Mess around with whatever systems you have to. I need that energy now. 2 more points of power coming out of that one. So slowly but surely making our way up to speed, although our acceleration is not what you'd call very good. Come on, keep patching. Oop, more energy. Not quite that much energy. Keep patching, keep fixing as more plasma torpedoes come online and are fully charged. Yeah, they're all set to normal mode. Our phaser capacitor is reasonably full. Still stabilizing the warp core. 1.8 points of energy. 2.8, that'll be another point of speed in our favor. I don't believe we can get up to maximum speed even with all systems, charged and full power. Fairly certain that's not something we can do. We'll patch this phaser, even though it's going to delay our assault a little bit longer. And it looks like they took him out. Excellent. So it's just you two? Wonderful. So I will fire S-type plasma torpedo? I think that might cause him to freak out and stop. Or we could fire an R. I mean, we are close enough for it. Keep repairing those engines. We still have 14 points of energy to recover. We took a lot of damage from that. The fact that we stopped and then opened up the shield when he fired all of his weapons into him, and then we responded by unloading all of our plasma. Yeah, we took a lot of chunking damage from that one. It wasn't fantastic, but necessary. Because at that point, the fight completely turned on him. He had no more shields. He was completely vulnerable. And, ooh, you no longer have a, you don't have any sort of shuttle bay anymore. That'll kill you. I'm reasonably certain, because you are, after all, a freighter that is capable of going places. You're not just, one of the super thin-hulled freighters that we annihilate in a couple of phaser blasts. There we go. You're dead. Target the last one. Luckily, nobody shall escape this convoy mission. We shall be victorious. Which I was a little bit worried towards the end there, whether or not I was going to be able to get to the last freighter in time. Long-range shot. They'll have to have traveled a distance of about 26 by the time it reaches there. Oh, never mind. He's slowing down badly. Let's see if this R-type plasma torpedo can make its way all the way over to him. Or we may not get a chance. Nope, the pseudo-frigates did our job for us. Excellent. So a successful mission completed. Hopefully that'll also neutralize the tile. I don't want to fight here much longer. It is a black hole tile and therefore dangerous. See how much prestige that was worth. 336, which is reasonable, and the tile's neutral, so we can ignore it for now. Pop back over here. Supply. Wow, that was quite a bit of damage with that one. And get ourselves back up to full peoples. Thank you. Shuttles were good. Fighters were good. Miscellaneous. Come on, click the button. There we go. We're good. And map, and push out into space, and we shall start turning the screws on the actual position that the enemy holds. We have no desire to allow them to escape. Not this time. And there will be a random vessel in the middle of the territory, and I think I saw a battleship over there while it was loading in. That happens on occasion. Do you have anything on board that we can steal? No. So there is no reason to rush. Enveloping plasma torpedoes, phasers to overload mode. And we're going about as fast as we can. Although, the phaser capacitor might be charged by the time we actually manage to accelerate up to the current demanded speed. We are not exactly the fastest maneuverable ship in the game. Quite the opposite. Although, I'm fairly sure the ISC battleships are even less maneuverable. Even more unwieldy beasts. And the phaser capacitor is fully charged right as we got up to speed. So yes, the phaser capacitor finished charging before our acceleration took us to a speed of like 8. So set our course. You are our target. You are another BB. Are you a BBX or a BBV? I'm going to hope for the X. Yes, a flat BBX, not a BBVX. The BBVX is a little bit more irritating to fight. It's not necessarily harder. It actually has fewer weapons, but those fighters can be difficult to deal with because they come from all angles. They don't get affected by us knocking out his shields. So yeah, we would like to avoid that if at all possible. Plasma torpedoes are about half charged at this point, getting ready for the big, nasty, enveloping plasma torpedo shot, which will strip away all of his shields. Unfortunately, until they are charged, we will not be able to utilize our electronic warfare systems, as we only have 1.9 points of energy to spend. And you can't spend 1.9 points of energy. I mean, the game can restrict you to only having 1.9 points of energy into something, but generally in this game, we can only put full points of power into something, except movement. Almost ready on the plasma torpedoes. And wait for it. Yep, we've got the energy back. So 4 and 2. Forward shields get the full reinforcement going. Reinforce there. Plasma torpedoes. Fire everything. And start to turn. And also slow down. Because we need to time this properly. Hopefully. And we're going to have to go full circle on him. He's fired his photon torpedoes, and he just accepted the shot. That's not good. That's truly no bueno. You freak out to that. How about this? I'm gonna fire enough plasma at you to make you scared. Doesn't really look like it. If I fire an R-type plasma torpedo, you'll definitely stop, won't you? He has started slowing down, but I'm assuming he's just slowing down to attack speed. Yeah, that's not a crash stop at all. So an R-type plasma torpedo now, will you crash stop, or am I just going to systematically feed fire into you until you die? He's doing a speed of 8 now. And there goes the... another plasma torpedo is out. There goes our random little buddy. You still haven't launched anything, and if you're not going to launch for an R-type plasma torpedo, you're not going to launch for anything. Phasers set to overload. Engage. Hit him with everything you got. Single F. And the last F-type plasma torpedo will go out as soon as this hits. And really, I'm not quite sure what to make of this. Plasma torpedoes back to normal mode. We don't need the additional firepower. And phasers continue to engage. Oh, he did chunk down one of our shields with his Gatling phasers. That is a very dangerous thing we always have to remember that Federation ships can do. That was a scatter pack. It's pretty impressive, actually. So allowing our D-type plasma torpedo system to operate and take on everything. We'll fire a little bit of long-range skirmishing fire. Actually, probably should set our phasers to normal mode if we're going to do that. And we don't have to worry so much about power. So long-range light fire. We should probably... Wow, that was pretty accurate fire. All but one of those torpedoes I do believe were hitting. And he still has a couple of shields left, although only his forward shield is in great shape. Would like to turn in on him, but I don't want to engage this forward shield because I don't have enough crunching firepower to knock through it. We may be able to drill in through the side. So let's turn, and fire. There we go. Nice hits. Nuclear space mine. Let's see if he will fully engage with it. And we do have some engine power to fix. Long-range stern-firing weapons. He didn't... Yep, he definitely avoided the nuclear space mine, and we will now turn to engage with this side. Our plasma torpedoes should be ready any second now. Unfortunately, it's the wrong S-type plasma torpedo. We'll have to wait a little while longer for this one to come online. And there it is. So kicking out the first one. We've lost the shield. That's not good. And he still has his defenses. Did you did launch a while. Ooh, you're scared. Slow down, slow way down. All power to forward shields. If that's what he's going to do, then we're going to capitalize on it. All plasma torpedoes are ready to engage. Overload the phasers. Engage with everything you've got. And phasers to immediate follow-up. There we go. The critical strike to annihilate him. A wild weasel to stop a single S-type plasma torpedo in your battleship. That was a bad maneuver. Although, to be fair, he was in a bad shape as soon as we got off the initial, well, not the initial barrage, because it was a long, extended affair, but, you know, didn't quite work out for him. And another convoy raid, because you know, the game thinks that the best use for super heavy equipment like our battleship is to hunt down convoys who are fleeing battle zones. Red alert is ordered, and the Free Spirit is currently escorting us, 2 G-type plasma torpedoes, 4 D-type plasma torpedoes, as well as a nice little array of 4 phaser X's and 2 phaser 3s. Currently squaring off against an MMD, is it? Was that who we saw who was going to fight us? Nope, doesn't look like it. Just a whole bunch of freighters right now. So we will, of course, set course. Plasma torpedoes to enveloping mode. And do I need to... Yeah, I do need to reduce speed. Phaser capacitor is almost charged, though, and by the time we get up to speed, we will have all the energy we need to start flying as fast as we can. A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Nope. There we go. Really? We can actually fly this fast? Didn't think we could do that. There's our little escort. It is an X-ship. It is an X-ship light cruiser, and you are an XDD, so you will have, I believe, 4 heavy photon torpedoes, along with heavy phasers, Gatling phasers, and a whole bunch of phaser X's. He is not a weak target by any stretch of the imagination. They are quite dangerous. I think this is an Akula Mark II? Maybe an Akula 3? My favorite ship in this game, that I don't believe is in this mod, I haven't found it, is the Akula class destroyers. I think the Akula class looks absolutely gorgeous. I completely adore. Unfortunately, because this mod overwrites a whole bunch of ships, and that's a good thing, the Akula class destroyer doesn't appear to actually be there. And so sadly, I don't get to enjoy my Akula classes at all. Although, you know, there is of course the Akula class, whatever mark this is. He's already begun to engage with his heavy photon torpedoes, which, brilliant strategy, I think everybody can approve. We will launch our pseudo frigates, have them get into the fray as soon as they can. Because there's no reason not to. They're not going to pay attention to my orders anyway, so I may as well send them to go try and destroy freighters. And we'll sort of keep a tangential look at how this fight is going. Is that something? Yes, it is. We're an FXX. We have a long way to catch up to this convoy. We started in the chase position. We have a long way to go. I wish I had more power for my engines so I could go faster. I don't believe the Free Spirit is going to be capable of wiping out whatever this ship's name is. They're currently not close enough to each other in order to get actual registry information, although we really do have to focus on taking out these freighters first. I mean, we could kill him, the Hodgson, without any trouble at all. That is 100% within our power to do. Unfortunately, the Hodgson may be around long enough to keep us from wiping out the entire convoy, so we can't have that. So instead, we shall focus on the little tiny vessels, the freighters who did nothing to nobody. Wow, that's our ship. We are rather large and intimidating looking. Is the Hodgson going to swoop on over here to try and get involved? Oh wow, the Hodgson has actually taken some damage. And it is equipped with 8 phaser X's, 2 heavy photon torpedoes, so not 4, just 2. 2 heavy phasers and 2 Gatling phasers. Are you coming in towards us? I will fire every single pseudoplasma torpedo I have. Actually, I won't. I'll fire an R and an S. Fire! Let's see if this gets him to immediately break. I think it would. I mean, I think most people would. We will engage with all phasers, because why not? And stern firing phasers. There we go. That's a lot of damage right there. And now we can focus on these people. And yes, I'm fully aware that, you know, we have a lot of heavy weapons to engage with. Fire this, and then fire this. Just sort of try and terrify these people. Oh, did you launch a Wild Weasley? Yes, you did. Did you? Maybe. You are escaping at quite the speed, so. How's the Hodgson doing? Still going at full speed. Wow, it took all those phaser hits and just kept on going. And this R-type plasma torpedo is going to peter out and never quite do anything with it. Plasma is still charged and ready to go, so fire another R-type plasma torpedo. This one, it will be in range as we sort of arc on through this formation. I wouldn't say we're graceful, but, you know, we're relatively effective. Wait for the hit. And that's a hit. And follow that up with an S-type plasma torpedo. Oh, we were a little close for that one. That took him out. Alright, we'll come around to port and engage you. We've destroyed several Federation freighters at this point, and now we can focus on the rest of them. They're all traveling at the same speed, though, so it's not like we took out a super fast one. Although, are we close to the map? I guess not. I thought we were close to the map edge. We were apparently in no danger at all. Fire a plasma torpedo there. Get ready with another follow-up plasma torpedo. Unless you break, which you could. You do have a shuttle bay. And a wild weasel. Will you? Won't you? You know what? I'm just going to do phasers here. There we go. Target you. We will send a plasma F torpedo your way. From a little bit beyond range, but he is sort of heading towards us. So that should work out in our favor. Is it just you and him? So we shall fire our S-type plasma torpedo. And this is the last freighter. Fighter has been... Ooh, that's really no bueno. We did not want to lose our super expensive fighters. And in fact, let's call our last one home if he'll pay attention to the order. He might not. I mean, they have demonstrated that they have a mind of their own and they're not afraid to tell me to go stuff myself. So slow down, wait for things to... Yep, attack him not. Phasers were not enough to kill him. It's quite a bit of phaser firepower, too. How about this amount of phaser firepower? Nope, he's still not impressed. There we go, that was enough. So we've taken out the convoy, and now it's just the Hodgson, who has apparently no shuttle bay. I have bad news for you, Hodgson. You're going to die. And it's probably going to be in the next, I'd say minute and a half. Accurate photon torpedo fire. His last defiant moments as he stares death in the face, knowing that his little tiny destroyer was all that stood between that convoy and death, and he failed. It's got to be actually pretty sad. He's been granted all this power in his brand new X-type destroyer, and he can't save anybody. He's just helpless as we will steadily barrage him to death with plasma. Endless waves of plasma. You shall not survive. Oh, and he's turning to present an open shield. He accepted his defeat in the end, and was shattered. Too bad. So sad. We've been seeing a lot of X-type ships, and I'm firmly believing, because we really have not taken out many of the Federation main planets or stations. We've just kind of cut through the bottom part here, but most of the industrial heart is right around here. But that will do it for today's episode. I've been Derek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to receive a notification every time I do one of these videos, press that little bell icon, leave a comment. I will see you all in the next episode.